Hi, everybody. All right, guys, you should be able to see everything in the feed shortly. David, I wanted to take this opportunity really quick. Everybody, this is Deanna Dobsoff. I'm the co-chairman of the eXp Military Network, and I am based out of New Mexico. And my fellow co-chair, Adam Kurtz, who's out of Florida. Great to have you guys on board and talking with us. I'd love to have an opportunity to have David. Will you share with us a little bit about the eXp Military Network?
Hey guys, how you doing? First of all, super excited. Can you hear me?
We need everybody to mute their world, please. There you go. I'm not sure who. Becky, Barbie, can you please mute whatever is playing in the world?
It's not me.
It's all yours. Go for it.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Go for it, David.
All right, crazy times. We're trying to negotiate with technology. And obviously, you guys know that that always doesn't work out, but we're doing our very best here for the first ever military network education day. I think I got to tell you guys, I'm sorry, I'll just go right into it. My name's David Kurz. I am the co-chair of the Military Network this year. Super excited to have this opportunity to be here with you guys. I am a United States Marine. I did serve 9 years with the Marine Corps. Did have the opportunity to travel the world and enjoy the life of the military. And the my experience coming out of the military was an experience that I think many military members share, and it was the experience of holy crap, what do I do now, right? Like, for the last 9 years, I had to shave my face, put on a uniform, and I was told what to do. It was very easy. And now it's like you got to figure things out on your own. And as the military network, what we are attempting to do and what we are going to do for our members is we're going to give them a safe space and a home to come to. And so when you think about that for a moment, EXP is such an amazing company with all the opportunities that it has. And it's a no-brainer for a former military person to leave the military and become a real estate professional. It really is a no-brainer. We could go into hours on why that makes so much sense. But as a military network, we're creating a network of people that are like-minded, that are super excited to be in this industry with this company and have the background that we have. We have a space where we can discuss the disciplines that we've learned in the military and what we've taken away from it and how we can adapt it and bring it to where we are today in this career, in this military career. And we're going to take this even further, guys. I mean, you have no idea how much work is being done behind the scenes to create further education, transitional education, support systems, even down to emotional support systems. So we're doing amazing things at the Military Network, and we appreciate you guys being present with us today.
Great, David. Thank you so much for sharing that. And, we do have a lot of things happening in the background here at the eXp Military Network. We've got a lot of areas of focus, and we've got a couple of our leads who are working in those areas. For example, we've got some goals to work on, obviously, visibility and building a strong military community. We also have the Military Referral Network. We are working on, I know both the Davids are going to be working on attraction and transition for military members and military spouses coming into real estate careers, also working on training and retention programs. And then we've got Barbie and Becky here who are going to talk a little bit about the education and veteran and military spouse resources that we're working on. So I kind of want to talk a little bit first David and David, will you guys share with us a little bit about what you guys are working on? David Wilt, if you could introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what's happening with the traction programs and some of our vision for the upcoming year.
Sure. Thanks for that, Deanna. So I'm David Gwilt. I'm a 20-year U.S. Air Force veteran, still in service, getting ready to retire and close that chapter here in the next few months, and transition out myself. And a lot of what we focus on within our company and have focused on for the last couple of years now is helping veterans transition out of the military into real estate if that's a career field that they choose to pursue. And so we've created and established over the last couple of years a DoD Skill Bridge program, have been an approved provider with them. And then within this panel, looking at how to try to enhance that, within the company, look at the types of requirements that are needed to set that up and what someone that wants to do that, what type of background they should have, what type of experience, and also tools that they should be providing, because it's definitely not just drop them into, eXp world or put them on fast track or whatever, or fast start. There's a lot of additional stuff, as all the vets know, that you go through when you transition. So a lot of it's about community building and all that type of stuff. We're trying to make sure that that's still there, the camaraderie and all that. So if they have a place to go to as they transition out, as David said, I haven't quite experienced it yet. Again, I'm getting ready to separate, and retire, but seen a lot of friends go through it. And that transition can be tough for some, right? When you go from steady, structured days every single day, to especially the real estate world where it's, polar opposite, completely unstructured. And so we're trying to help soften that landing for our folks that are coming out, and then looking to how to help educate them and help them be successful, right, as they start this career and transition out from serving to serving in a different way.
Great, David. Thank you so much. And David Kurz, tell me a little bit about some of the, once folks work through that transition and come into eXp, what are some of our visions that we're putting into play right now, or what you're working on in terms of training programs for military members and spouses who are coming in and wanting to make real estate careers?
I think, one of the biggest focuses that we have is creating a program that speaks military language. When someone like David Gwilt, who's about to retire from the Air Force, he's got 20 years of speaking military language, right? And you don't just shake that off. As a matter of fact, I know Marines that served 3 years in 2 years in Vietnam and haven't been able to shake off military language, and it's something that sticks with you, stays with you, and it changes your mindset, changes your mentality. So to be able to create training programs that speak the language that is easily understood is a strong passion for us, because taking programs, for instance, I wrote a program called the SOP that we hopefully will integrate into what we're doing with the military network. And the SOP is a military term. It's every shop in the military has an SOP. People know what that is. It's an easy acronym that people understand right away coming out of the military. So having a transition program, having a program that will take people from being active duty to now being a civilian, to trying to understand what that actually means, like by itself, and then transitioning into an entirely new career in which they have no forward movement from anyone else. Because let's face it, every one of us is an independent contractor and we work on our own, right? Unless you join a team or something like that. But even then, you're an independent contractor, right? And for military folks leaving their bases and headed to an area like I did, I came to Miami. If I would have joined a team here in Miami, trust me when I tell you, it was not going to be a military-based team, right? Like no one was going to speak my language. So it was going to be even difficult for me to transition with them. And so we're creating programs and creating systems in place that will allow these military members to come over, transition, join our military MilNet, right? Our network, be a part of something that they feel extremely comfortable with, and be able to launch and understand an entirely new career.
Awesome. Fantastic. Are there any other programs or any other visions that you guys are working in terms of the transition and education at all for the network? I know that we were talking eventually future, we're maybe looking at some military spouse career initiatives. Also, I know that we're trying to find a few folks to work on that on your group, because I don't think we have any spouses on your little squad that you guys are working on at this point, but we're trying to do something like that. I know,
think, there's also, I know that there's a future in which we would like to see uh, um, scholarships and grants being given to military spouses and military members transitioning into the industry. And I know that's something that we're all passionate about, and something that's going to take a ton of work. And hopefully everybody sitting here watching this right now will show us some massive support. But to be able to have scholarships for military members and military spouses, and Deanna can talk more about the military spouse and why real estate is such an obvious career for a military spouse who bounces around every 2 to 4 years, right? To a different state or country for that matter. And being able to look at a military member or military spouse and say, join our company, we'll give you a scholarship to go get through the school, pay for the licensing, do whatever needs to be done so that you can transition into this career. I think that's huge, and we'll get there.
Exactly. Another thing that we're, as David mentioned, I happen to be, I'm a military spouse. Actually, I'm an Army brat and an Air Force wife. So you could say I've spent more years in the military or tied to the military than even my husband has. My father was 34 years Army. My husband, 31 years Air Force, so quite the long time. And you're right, military spouses have a unique opportunity in that real estate is an easily portable career. And I know Becky and Barbie have been working on a great list for folks about all the different licensing perks for military members and spouses and even their family members. Barbie or Becky, do you want to share anything about that?
Yeah, sure. I'm Becky Parker, and my husband is a retired Navy man. And basically, like David was saying, we as spouses really do have a challenge on career, having our own career. So that's where my passion comes into helping with this group. And what Barbie and I have put together is basically we're searching all over the United States to see what type of programs are available to us. Many times they waive application fees, things like that. So all those little details, we're putting it together for you to really try and help get the most out of the career and make it as easy as possible for the spouses to get into the business or service members to get into the business.
Yeah, it looks here. We had a question from the crowd. They were thinking, thought the state of Florida gets some type of discount or get to take the test for free. I believe there is, isn't there?
Yes, actually there is. There's also they have a military exemption too, where you get an application fee. I think they waive your application fee. We're getting some more information on that, but we've done some research, and we always find that they change things up on us a little bit. But yeah, they do have that exemption out there for military and retired, active duty. And as far as the scholarship program for a military school, we're still in the works on that one, though. I've not found where that can be done.
Right. So, Jake, I know that Jake joined us a little bit later. Jake is introduce yourself, and you're on mute right now, but introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about where you're from. I know that you're helping David Gwilt and David Kurz on some of the education and the transition programs, or excuse me, the training and transition programs. What are some of the things that you're working on with the network?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay? I just want to make sure first. I've got all the world and everything pulled up.
So make sure you mute your world.
Okay. I don't know how to mute the world.